To the average American from the north, Brazil has seemed a remote and strange land of jungles, rivers, and mountains. The one picturesque fact about Brazil the pre-war North American might well have been aware of was that Rio, during the annual carnival, is one of the gayest spots in the world.
Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, she smiles, but she doesn't see.
In most countries, the main export is something like sugar or coal. Here is a country that for many, many decades, the main export was culture. You can't say that about very many countries.
When she walks, she's like a samba that swings so cool and swings so gently that when she passes, each one she passes goes.
World culture today, it's becoming more and more similar to Brazilian culture. Complexity, fragmentation, variety. This is becoming the world culture.
Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, she smiles, but she doesn't see.
O Brasil é um país enorme, de dimensões continentais, praticamente do tamanho dos Estados Unidos em termos territoriais, altamente miscigenado, talvez o mais miscigenado racialmente do mundo, e nós falamos português. Então isso dá um conjunto de desvantagens que resulta em alguma originalidade que, se a gente for esperto, como os músicos populares são, a gente pode influenciar a vida do mundo.
With Brazilian music, it was like discovering a whole new language. It really felt like, oh my God, I need to get a ticket and be there now.
Fora do Brasil, quando você diz que é músico e quando você diz que é brasileiro, quer dizer, você come de graça, toma banho, fica na casa de o cara te dá casa, comida e roupa lavada.
We are welcome. Our spirit, our quality, our soul, our way of being are celebrated, everywhere.
There's all the romanticizing of Brazilian culture, the beauty of the people and the beauty of the culture and the happiness and joy.
Because it's a place where so many different cultures connect, European, African, indigenous. That sort of brings something different to the rest of the world.
Essa mistura é liberdade. Liberdade é alegria para todo mundo. É feliz, é leve. O estrangeiro se encanta com essa leveza e com essa alegria, assim. E também com a maneira que a gente acaba lidando com os problemas, porque o brasileiro tem problema pra cacete.
Take a look at the new land, the swimming pool and the teeth of your friend, the dirt in my hand. You must take a look at me. Baby, baby, I know that's the way. Baby, baby, I know that's the way.
Poucas músicas no mundo têm a sofisticação harmônica, melódica e rítmica que o Brasil tem. A música brasileira é isso. É sofisticada, harmônica, rítmica e poeticamente.
There are happy songs in major chords, there are sad songs in minor chords. But Brazilian music, it's all these different dissonant chords and minor and major chords all thrown in, and it's closer to human feelings, which are complex. They aren't just sad minor, you know, they're more complicated than that.
Any corner you look in, you can find the Brazilian influence in American music.
You know,
it's got an inherent charm to it, and it's romantic, and it's sexy, without being overbearing in any way.
And what I don't know, and what I don't know, I know. With me, everything is fine. It's now time to make up your mind. We live in the biggest city of South America, of South America, of South America. Look here, read what I wrote on my shirt.
Samba has overtaken everything. It's overtaken the hip hop, the American, the salsa, everything. Samba has become the big piece of the school.
My wife and I went to Rio, and I knew about Brazilian music, but I didn't know too much. And it was about 6 months later, I was back in Rio, and I went to a rehearsal of the Vila Isabel Samba School. And I was blown away with what I saw. Immediately, I said, that's it. That's perfect for my students.
Kaisha, the Shikalu.
Gogo, Soda #1.
Happy Nikki also.
When the whole group is together, you know, there are 9 or 10 different rhythms happening at once. This is challenging.
It sounded cool. It had the most complex beats, and I'm a complex kind of person, you know. I like a challenge.
The rhythm and the way they put their music together.
It's unique.
It's just, yes, it's very unique.
You can almost do anything with it.
A lot of energy, excitement. That's how I feel when I play it.
I feel like alive. That's how I transfer my energy to my instrument, you know. Yeah.
I'm the type of person who's really energetic, and I really like to dance, so the instrument that really lets me dance a lot is Shikalu, because you got to move out your upper body and your lower body, and you got to be creative with it, and just like to have fun. Samba's really fun.
When somebody next to you is dancing and having fun, you just have fun too.
could be in a bad mood like all day and you just come after school to play samba and you're just so happy about it.
Our interest in music is not only in terms of what we hear, it's also based on history, culture, and tradition.
We talk about Brazilian jazz, we talk about forró, we talk about baile funk. We spend a lot of time looking at a map of Brazil, saying that this comes from this region, and here's why. This developed because these people and these people met.
This one, shh, with the bells, ba-da-ba-ba-boom-ba, and boom, 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 ga-ga-ga-ga.
We ask that all goes well, and that we do what is necessary to please the people that have come to see us. We ask this in your name. Amen. Amen.
Different music, and everybody doesn't always get a chance to try something like this, and we're playing things for the audience that they've never heard before. We're bringing them to a different part of the world that they've probably never been.
The way it happened at this school, it just seemed like it was the right thing, and it happened so quickly and so naturally. It could spread further in the United States. I think it could be a seed.
This music is so rich, so exciting, so alive. So what we want to do is make our school the center of samba in New York City.
This is the best song ever. No, this is the best song. This is the #1 holy grail song. This song is pure gospel, you know, from just a divine source, this song. Mañana de Carnaval.
Mais que nada, sai da minha frente, eu quero passar.
When Sergio was trying to get a deal, they had a showcase at my grandmother's house, and so it was Sergio Mendes and his band with Wanda Gissá, Rosina Valencia, and George Bain. And so this was a party. My grandmother had all these people come, and they just put on a little performance, and my dad taped it. So this is November '64, right? To me, this kind of proves that you don't need a fancy studio to make a good record if you have the right songs and the right band. It's just 2 microphones, so listen to that.
Most people, when they learn the guitar, because I learned the guitar kind of late, you learn all the, you know, like. And I didn't do that because I'd listen to like Latin music and stuff, so I knew all those kind of, you know. And then we did, which is kind of an influence from the Latin music, By Your Side, which is where you keep one note going. I came from like a little town in England. I wasn't in like the cool London scene at first when I was a young kid, but I heard Stan Getz, and he just had this amazing, simple sound. I just fell in love with his tone, with his sound, and how simple and easy and the whole swing of the bossa nova thing was. When you hear, you know, one of these bossa nova songs, you know, it's almost like the equivalent of listening to reggae music. Or for me, for R&B, like Al Green and Marvin Gaye, it's just a groove. Obviously, there's a real subtlety of the chords, and the melodies are amazing, but it doesn't sound like it's showing off.
best song ever. No, this is the best song. This is the #1 holy grail song. This song is pure gospel, you know, from just a divine source, this song. Mañana de Carnaval.
A música do Brasil fez muito mais pelo Brasil do que qualquer presidente ou ministro de finanças ou ministro de cultura.
America exploits things like that, and I think that they didn't really get the chance to exploit Brazilian culture like they are now. You know what I'm saying? They found something new and they're gonna milk it.
This music is going to be galactic, to go where no one, you know what I mean? And people want to go with it. I want to go on that spaceship with you.
A really surprising group that would go from Kurt Cobain to Beck to myself to jazz musicians, etc. All have a kind of love affair with Brazilian music. I think they hear that kind of the mixture of experimentation and sophistication and beautiful singing and performing that they hope to one day bring into their own music, maybe. Hard to imagine that Nirvana would be going that direction, but you never know.
Quando você pensa no Brasil mesmo, você sente um prazer, como se você fosse mãe de um filho bonito. Eu acho que é isso, porque eu digo que artista tem útero. Eu, por exemplo, não sou nem homem, aliás, para falar nisso. Parece que foi eu quem pari essas músicas. Parece que fui eu que botei no mundo, que saiu de dentro de mim.
We are different. We are great music. We are one of the best, if not the best music in the world. This is...
O que interessa, no final das contas, não é mais a geografia da história. O que acaba interessando é a essência de cada um.
Borders has to be broken down. I think it's a beautiful thing with cultures and all those little folkloric elements that do exist, and people are proud of where they're from. But I dream about a world without passports, you know. So I think that's the only way to make world peace.
The future of Brazilian music, I think it's going to be a big future, and I hope we have the recognition, but I think other countries should have it too. And world music become really world music and something bigger and bigger. Music.
In 10, 20 years, I mean, those frontiers will be brushed away. Internet and the whole digital world and the whole new forms of fast communication help a lot, these new possibilities.
The kind of newer economic and political developments in Brazil. Brazil's becoming an example, not just for South America, but for many places all over the world. Now, it's kind of exporting not just culture and products, but kind of ideas, or ideas of politics and economics and things like that. That's also just amazing.
What do you keep under this exotic turban?
Aha, you don't believe I have any hair, do you? See? It's my own hair. This is not my natural color. They bleach it in Hollywood. They change the color of my hair. But I have a lot of fun. But don't forget, people, I make my money with bananas. You know that? I make my money with bananas. So, very glad to bleach you. Goodbye.
Actually, I have an interesting story. One of the rockets that go up to the moon, the astronauts, they landed on the moon on one of the shots, and they were playing the girl from Ipanema in the cockpit.
Bom, agora vamos fazer um ping-pong aqui. Ok, um pássaro, meu pai. Um país, Brasil. Um canal, esse. Um botão, inscreva-se. Muito obrigado pela sua presença no nosso programa e para mais vídeos como esse, inscreva-se no canal do Canal Brasil. Clica. Clica, 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 clica. Clica, clica, clica.